Okay, so I'm going to go through the term 4 set 2 paper 2. Right, the questions. Question 1. So Prakriti bought 7 out of 10 liters of lime juice, and then the sister drank 3.7 liter of it and then prepared another 5.14 liter of lime juice. So how much lime juice did she have in the end? So at first she had 710 liters, drank 3.7 of it, so minus 3.7, and then prepared another 5 out of 14 liters. So if you do this using a calculator, you should have 22 out of 35 liters, right? Question 2. Question 2. Mary bought an equal number of apples and oranges. Okay, an orange costs 70 cents and it is actually twice as much as an apple. And she paid a total of $16.80 for the fruits. The question is asking how many apples did she buy. Okay, so an orange, wrong color. An orange is twice as expensive as an apple, right? And an orange is 70 cents. Okay, so how much is an apple? So an apple is 35 cents. Okay, and she paid a total of $16.80 for the fruits, and she bought an equal number of apples and oranges. So one apple and one orange would cost a total of so an apple and orange would cost $1.05. Okay, so $16.80 divided by $1.05 for each set, so I will have 16 sets of apple and orange. Okay, so since it's an equal number of apples and orange, so she would have bought 16 apples, right? Number 3. So you have a rectangular tank with a square base with side cm was filled with water to a height of 20 cm. What is the volume of water in the tank? Right, so I don't know how tall the tank is, but it doesn't matter because we are just finding the water in the tank. So the water level is 20 centimeter, so I can just take 11 times 11 times 20, which is 2,420 cubic centimeters. Okay. Question 4. Farah received a monthly salary of $2,400. She gave 25% of it to her mother and saved the rest. So how much money did Farah save? Okay. So if she gave 25% to her mother, then her savings would be 75% of her salary. And that would be $1,800. Okay, question 5. John had $11.40 and Mark had $2.80 at first. Okay, their father had given them an equal amount of money to each of them, and John will end up having 3 times as much money as Mark. Okay, so let's try and draw the model to see what's actually happening. So John at first had $11.40, and Mark had only $2.80. Okay, and their father gave them an equal amount, so this would be what the father gave to them. Okay, and after that it ended up that John had 3 times as much money as Mark. So if this is 1 unit of money, so this is also 1 unit of money, 3 times as much, so John would have 3 units altogether, right? So if this is 1 unit, so the other 2 units will be here. Okay, so 3 units of money would be what the father gave to them, plus another $11.40, while Mark's 1 unit would be what the father gave to them, plus another $2.80. Okay, so 2 units would therefore be $11.40 minus $2.80, which would be $8.60. Okay, so 1 unit of money would be $8.60 divided by 2, that will be $4.30. Okay, so how much money did the father give to each of them? So 1 unit is actually 1 unit of money is $4.30. So I'm just going to use Mark's amount. So $4.30 minus $2.80. So the father gave to them $1.50 each. Question 6. Mrs. Tan went shopping with some money. She spent $87 on a pair of shoes and $2.07 of the remainder on a dress and was left with $65. How much money did Mrs. Tan bring for her shopping? Okay, so let's try and draw the model. So she had some money. Okay, and she spent $87 on a pair of shoes. So okay, maybe let's not cut it like this. This is, let's say this is $87 for the shoes and 2/7 of the remainder, so this would be the remainder, and I need to cut the remainder to 7 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 7 equal parts, and 2 out of 7 on a dress, and had $65 left. Okay, how much money did Mrs. Tan bring for her shopping? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units is $65 1 unit, 65 divided by 5, that will be $13. So the remainder, which is 7 units, 13 times 7, this will be $91. So the remainder is $91. So finally, add back what she spent on the shoes. So 91 plus 87, so she brought a total of $178 to shop. Okay. And now you need to add the units yourself. Question 7. So I have 4 children, or rather 4 people: Alan, Chloe, Ravi, Sam. They have an average of 68 cards. So now Alan has 40 more cards than Chloe. So let's try and draw that. So Alan has 20 more cards than Chloe. So just let's say I'm going to add 20 cards here. Okay. And now Ravi has 30 fewer cards than Chloe. So Ravi has 30 less cards than Chloe. So this, let's say this is 30. Maybe I should draw something more accurate, like this. Yeah. Okay. And finally, it says that Sam has 20 more cards than Ravi. Okay, so Sam has 20 more cards than Ravi. So maybe this is another 20. Okay. And all of them add together would have a total of 68 times 4, which is 272 cards. Okay, 272 cards. Oh, my mistake here. Alan has 40 more cards. Okay, 40 more cards than Chloe. Okay, so this would be the correct representation. Now, it is a bit messy now because everybody has different number of cards. Okay, so what I would do would be to kind of add, I'm gonna add some parts. So let's say if how to make Chloe to be the same as Alan, I have to add 40 cards here. Okay, so the total now will be to add another 40. Okay, and for Ravi to be the same as Alan, I need to add 30 plus another 40, so there will be a total of 70. Okay, and for Sam, I need to add 10 and another 40, which is 50. Okay, so 272 plus 40 plus 70 plus 50, I should have a total of 432 cards. Okay, so once I've made all of them equal, I can take 432 divided by 4, okay, which would be 108. Okay, so actually Alan has 108 cards here. Okay, so now I want to find out how many cards does Ravi have. Okay, so if this is 108 cards, I just need to take away 70, right? So 108 minus 70, the answer would be 38. So Ravi would have 38 cards. Okay. Question 8. A rectangular tank measuring 24 cm by 15 cm by 20 cm is 4/5 filled with water. Right? So let's see how much water is there in the tank. So I have this tank, 4/5 filled, 24 cm by 15 cm by 20 cm, but it's only 4/5 filled. Okay, it's only 4/5 filled. Okay. Oops. Wrong. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's only up to here. Right. So what do I do is 24 times 15 times 20, and it's only 4/5 filled, so I'll multiply it by 4/5 as well. So the amount of water in the tank would be 5,760 cubic centimeter. Now this water is then transferred into a cubical container of side 20 cm. So I have a cubical container of side 20 cm, so 20 cm by 20 cm by 20 cm. So what will be the volume of this container? 20 by 20 by 20, which is 8,000. More than enough to contain the water. Right? So how much more water is needed to fill the cubical container to the brim? To the brim means all the way up. So 8,000 minus 5,760, I will have 2,240 cubic centimeter. But if you look down here, there's no units given, so you can either give as this unit or in ml or in liters. So either one of the three. Okay. So 2,240 cubic centimeter or 2,240 milliliters or 2.24 liters. Okay. Number 9. The figure below is not drawn to scale. A, B, and C, D are straight lines. Okay, so I always like to show that if they are straight lines, means they will be vertically opposite angles. And then tell you one of the angles, AOD, is 108 degrees. So it happens that AOD is 108 degrees, there will be another 108 degrees here. Okay, COB, because it's vertically opposite angles. So these two angles will be the same. So name an angle that has the same value as AOC. So AOC is here, right? So AOC is here, so vertically opposite angles. Another angle would be angle BOD, or some of you will write angle DOB, right? Either one will be accepted. Now if COE equals to EOB, they ask you to find the value of angle EOB. Right? So now they tell you that these two angles are the same. COE, this angle, to use different color, and this angle are the same. So I ask you to find the value of EOB, which is this one. Actually, it's very simple. You just take, we've already identified that the total of these two angles is 108. So since they are equal, you just divide by 2. So that will be 54 degrees, right? So the angle that is the same as angle AOC would be BOD or DOB. Okay, they are the same name. They are different names for the same angle. Okay, and ask you to find the angle EOB. That will be 54 degrees. Number 10. Jacqueline folded the two corners of a square piece of paper of side 18 cm. Okay, so this 18 cm into two identical triangles as shown below. Find the area of the shaded parts. Okay, so basically, if I call this corner of the paper X, if it's folded down, then here is X, right? And which means that this length and this length are the same, right? So this and this will also be the same. Okay, so since they already put a hash mark, I will also put a hash mark there to show that actually they are all of the same length, right? And another line, this edge of the triangle will be the same length as this, right? Let me try and draw that again. And same goes for here. This edge will be the same as this. Alright. So they ask you to find the area of the shaded parts. So if I want to find the area of the shaded parts, or what I will do would be to take the area of the square piece of paper minus away the area of the 4 unshaded triangles. So let's find the area of one unshaded triangle first. Alright, so I know that the green edges are all the same length. So what I can do is that if this is 8 centimeters, this will also be 8 centimeters. Right, so this is a square piece of paper, so this whole thing is 18 centimeters. Right, so this would be 10 centimeters, which means this is also 10 centimeters, right? Right, so let's try and find the length of one red line. So if this is 7, this whole thing is 18 centimeter again. Right, so what do I need to do this is just 18 minus 7, then divide by 2, since these two red lines are the same length. So that would be 5.5 centimeters. So this is 5.5 centimeters, which means this is also 5.5 centimeters, right? So now I know the length, or rather I know the base and the height of the triangle. So the area of one triangle would be half times 5.5 times 10. Okay, that would be 55 divided by 2. I will still get so that would be 27.5 square centimeters. Now I have 4 of them, so 27.5 times 4, it will be 110 square centimeters. Finally, I want to find the shaded area. I will take the area of the square piece of paper, which is 18 times 18 minus 110, which leaves me 214 square centimeters, and that will be the area of the shaded parts. Square centimeters. Okay. 11. A phone company offers mobile phone services with the rates as shown in the table below. So there are two plans A and B. Okay, incoming calls are both free. However, for outgoing calls, it's different. For plan A, it will only be free for the first 100 minutes, and then 20 cents per minute thereafter. Right, for plan B, it will be free for the first 200 minutes, but it will cost 35 cents per minute thereafter. Right. So Cecilia subscribed to plan A and she made 250 minutes of outgoing calls. Okay. How much was her phone bills? So for the first 100 minutes is free. So she would only have to pay for the additional 150 minutes that she used. Okay, so 150 minutes, each minute is 20 cents. So that works out to be $30. Now, if Cecilia has subscribed to plan B instead, how much would she have saved? Okay, so let's look at how much she has to pay for plan B instead. Okay, so 250 minutes, same thing, but for the first 200 minutes it's free, so she only have to pay for that 15 minutes extra. So 15 minutes, each minute is now 35 cents. That would cost her $17.50. Right? So how much would she have saved? So $30 minus $17.50. She would have saved $12.50. So part A, she would have to pay $30, and for part B, she would have saved $12.50 if she has subscribed to plan B. Question 12. So figure below is not drawn to scale, and TVR is a straight line. So TVR is a straight line. That is the only straight line, so I cannot assume that there are vertically opposite angles. It doesn't say that PVS is a straight line. But the next thing, it does say that PQ equals to PS. So I would say that this would be an isosceles triangle. Right, and actually this would be, yeah, right, PVS must be a straight line if this is a triangle. Alright, so angle QPS is 34 degrees and angle TRQ is 15 degrees. The angles are given. So they ask you to find QTR. Where is QTR? QTR is here. QTR, yep, this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to make use of the isosceles triangle here. Okay, so since one of the angles has been given already, so for part A, using triangle PQS, alright, angle PQS would be 180 degrees minus 34 divided by 2, and that will be 73 degrees. So this will be 73, this will also be 73. Okay, why do I want to make use of that? Because the next thing I'm going to make use of would be triangle TRQ. Okay, TRQ. Okay. Oops, I accidentally changed the color. Okay, so using triangle TRQ, angle QTR would be 180 degrees minus 73 minus 15 degrees, and that would be 92 degrees. So this is 92 degrees. Okay. Right. So the next one for part B, you're supposed to find angle PVR. PVR is here. Okay, so okay, for part B, they ask you to find angle PVR. So PVR is here. Okay, so my strategy is to find this angle, then find this angle, and then use angles on a straight line to find this angle, right? To find the unknown angle, the marked angle. So let's try it out. Angle PTR would be 180 degrees minus 92 degrees, and that would be 88. Okay, 88 degrees. So this is 88 degrees. So using triangle PTV, okay, angle PVT would be 180 minus the other two angles, which are 34 and 88. That would be 58 degrees, right? So now this is 58 degrees. So finally, angle PVR, angles on a straight line, 180 degrees minus 58 that would be 122 degrees. So angle QTR would be 92 degrees. Okay, and angle PVR would be 122 degrees, right? Number 13. So I have three people, Jane, Mary, and Lucy, shared a sum of money. So Jane and Lucy receive 4 times as much money as Mary. Mary and Lucy receive twice as much as Jane. The amount of money Mary and Jane received was $2,700. Okay. So this is a bit tricky because requires a bit of ratio, right? Let's see whether you can follow, right? Let's try to see whether you can follow. So Jane and Lucy receive 4 times as much money as Mary. So ratio of Jane and Lucy to Mary will be 4:1. Now, then the total for this ratio would be 5. Right? If I write another ratio, Mary and Lucy receive twice as much as Jane. Now in this case, this ratio will be 3. The total will be 3. Now, to be honest, this is actually a primary 6 question. So, but never mind, I think you can follow along. So if you look here, the common thing here is total. Okay. The common item is total. Okay. So in this ratio is expressed as 5 units. In this ratio is expressed as 3. Right? The total amount of money doesn't change. So I need to make the total units for both ratio to be the same by finding equivalent ratios. So 5 and 3. 15. So now I can start comparing. Okay, I can start comparing. Okay, so I can start drawing the model actually. In this case, Jane and Lucy will have 12 units, but Mary will be 3 units. Okay, now this is for the first ratio. For the second ratio, Mary remains the same, right? The amount of money or number of units Mary has doesn't change. But now Mary plus Lucy supposed to have a total of 10 units. Okay, so Lucy must therefore be 7 units and Jane is 5 units. right? 5 plus 7 plus 3 will still add up to 15. Okay, so this will be Jane's share. Okay, so now we've established that Mary has 3 units, Jane has 5 units of money, and Lucy has 7 units of money. So part A, what fraction of the total sum of money did Lucy receive? Right, Lucy is 7 units out of a total of 15 units, so that will be the fraction 7 out of 15. Okay, how much more money did Mary did Lucy receive? Now we have to look back at the question first. The amount of money Mary and Jane received was 2,700. So Mary is 3 units, Jane is 5 units, so altogether 8 units. 8 units of money would be $2,700, right? Okay. So 1 unit is $337.5. Okay, $337.50. Now what is the difference between Lucy and Mary? So Lucy is 7 units, Mary is 3 units, so difference of 4 units. So the difference would be $1,350. So Lucy received an $1,350 more than Mary. Okay. So part A answer is 7 out of 15. Part B, the answer is 1,350. Number 14. The triangle overlaps the square as shown below. The ratio of the area of the square to the shaded area to the area of the triangle is 14 to 2 to 5. Okay, so square to shaded area to triangle is the ratio 14 to 2 to 5. So there is an overlap, right? So the 14 units here includes the 2 units of shaded area for the square, and the 5 units of 5 units for the area of the triangle includes the 2 units that is shaded. So the area of the square is 784 square centimeters, and find the area of the whole figure. Now the whole figure would be, to make it easy, would be I would find the area of the square plus the unshaded part of the triangle. Okay, so the area of, so how do I find the unshaded part of the triangle? Now first, they tell you the square has an area of 784 square centimeters, and that is 14 units of the whole figure. Okay, 14 units. 14 units representing the square. So 1 unit, 784 divided by 14. That would be 56 square centimeters. Okay, now this unshaded part of the triangle, so area of the triangle is 5 units, right? But the shaded part is 2 units. So the unshaded part of the triangle would therefore be 5 units minus 2 units, which is 3 units. Okay, so now 3 units is 56 times 3, 168 square centimeters. Okay, so the total area would be the square, which is 784, plus the unshaded part of the triangle, 168. So total 952 square centimeters. Square centimeters. Oh my gosh. Okay, question 15. The usual price of a computer before GST was $1,650, and there was a sale, right? The computer was offered at a discount of 20%. And on the last day of the sale, the salesman decided to give a further 10% discount on the discounted price. Okay, what does that really mean? Okay, now let's work it step by step. Usual price of the computer is $1,650. All right, now after the discount, after a 20% discount, what would be the price of the computer? Okay, 80% of the usual price, right? And that will be $1,320. And on the last day, additional 10% discount, which means 90% of $1,320. Okay, so that means this is what it means to give a further discount of 10% on the discounted price. Okay, this is the discounted price. Okay, so on the last day, the computer will be selling for $1,188. Now, so we have this Mr. Lim. He bought the computer, which included a GST of 7% on the last day of the sale, and asked you to find how much did he have to pay. Right? So the computer would have cost $1,188 without GST. So the GST would be 7% of $1,188. Okay, and that would be $83.16. So total amount would be $1,188 plus the GST amount, and therefore Mr. Lim had to pay a total of $1,271.16. That will be the final amount. 1271.16. Number 16. Squares and circles are used to form figures that follow a pattern as shown below. So for figure 1, you have this, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. Right? And the table below shows the number of squares and circles for the first 4 figures. They ask you to find the number of squares for figure 5. Okay, number of squares. So let's look at how the squares change. So from figure 1 to figure 2, that's a plus 3, then plus 4, then plus 5. So for figure 5, we just take, see, this is started off with 2 squares, then add another 3 squares, so 2, then 3, then 4, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Okay, so the next one would be plus 6. So for A, I take whatever is there already, 14 plus 6. That will be a total of 20 squares. Okay. Now a figure in a pattern has a total of 169 squares and circles. What is that figure number? So now we have to kind of figure out what the pattern is for the total number of squares and circles. Now for figure 1, total number is 4. Figure 2, total number is 9. Figure 3, 16, 4, 25. Okay, this series of number 4, 9, 16, 25 is what we call square numbers. Okay, so 4 is actually 2 times 2. 9 is 3 times 3. 16 is 4 times 4. 25 is 5 times 5. Okay, and how does it relate back to the figure number? The figure number is always 1 less than the number that we use to get the total number. So 2 times 2, so 2 minus 1, figure number 1. So 3 times 3 is 9, but I take 3 minus 1, I get 2. So I get back the figure number this way. Alright, so now I have a total of 169 squares and circles. So what is that figure number? So this number multiplied by itself must give me 169, and 13 times 13 will give me 169. So the figure number is 1 less than the number here used to find the total. So the figure number would be 13 minus 1, which would be 12. Okay. Okay. Question part C. Another figure in the pattern has 76 more squares than circles. What is the total number of squares and circles in this figure? So now we need to find the pattern. Okay. So in this case, 76 more squares than circles. So let's see what is the pattern here. If I look at figure 1, for figure 1, there's a difference of 0, okay, between squares and circles. Figure 2, there's a difference of 1. Figure 3, there's a difference of 2 between squares and circles. So 7 and 9, so 2. Then for figure 4, there's a difference of 3. Okay. So you can see how does it link back to the figure number, right? The figure number is always one more than the difference. Okay, one more than the difference. So another figure in the pattern has 76 more squares than circles. So can we figure out the pattern number, the figure number rather? So if there's 76 more squares, than circles, so the figure number is one more of that. So 76 plus 1, so figure number 77. Okay, so figure number 77, they ask you to find the total number of squares and circles in this figure. So now I will work backwards. From part B, you can see that if I know to find the figure number, I take whatever number that makes the square minus 1. So now I take the figure number plus 1, that would be 78, and then I take 78 times 78, that would be 6084. That's the answer. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So let's just try figure 4. Figure 4 plus 1, I get 5, and 5 times 5 gives me 25. Figure 3 plus 1 will be 4. 4 times 4 will give me 16. So now I have figure 77 plus 1, so I have 78. So 78 times 78, I will have 6084. Right? So answer for A, 20. Answer for B, 12. Answer for C, 6084. Right? Last question, number 17. Okay, a figure below is made up of two identical small squares, two identical large squares, and a rectangle. Right? The shaded rectangle BCFG has a perimeter of 24.6, and the total area of the four squares, that means the two small and two big squares all together, have this area. Ask you to find the length of CL. CL is here. Okay, now because this is a square, so okay, these four sides are the same, right? And these four sides are the same, right? So in this case, they said that the shaded rectangle BCFG has a perimeter of 24.6. So 24.6 is made up of 2 of this double hash and 2 of this single hash. Now CL happens to be the length of a double hash plus the length of a single hash, right? And the perimeter of the rectangle BCFG is double hash plus single hash plus another double hash and another single hash, isn't it? Right? Double hash, single hash, double hash, single hash. Right? So, and this is 24.6 centimeters. So if I just want to find CL, it's actually half of this, isn't it? So CL, part A, CL is just 24.6 divided by 2, that is 12.3 centimeters. Okay. Now find the area of the shaded rectangle BCFG. Okay, this one is a bit tricky. Now what I will do is to extend this. Now why do I want to do that? Okay, so I know that this is 12.3 cm. Here is also 12.3 cm. Okay, so if I know that the total area of the 4 squares, which in this case is 2 large squares plus 2 small squares, or I can also say 1 large plus another large plus another small. Okay, maybe I shouldn't make it so complicated. So basically 4 squares will be 2 large and 2 small. Now in this case, if I just look at this part here, alright, just now I've extended. The shaded part here, I just call it, I'll just, yeah, it's shaded already. This, I'll just call it, maybe I'll call, yeah, I'll color it yellow. Okay, I'll highlight it as yellow. This, would it be the same area as this? Right, it will be, because they share the same length and breadth. So the area of this and the area of this will be the same. So if I were to know that this red square is 12.3 times 12.3, I just have to minus away the area of one big and one small square and then divide by 2. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let's do it step by step. So let's find the area of the red square, which is 12.3 times 12.3. In this case is 151.29 square centimeters. Now the area of 4 squares, which is 2 large and 2 small squares, is 218.4. So if I just take 218.4, I divide by 2, that will be 109.2 square centimeters. This would be the area of 1 large square plus 1 small square. Isn't it here? This is the 1 large and 1 small. Okay, so I take 151.29 minus 109.2. That would be 42.09 square centimeters. That will be the area of 2 shaded rectangle. Okay, so finally to find area of one shaded rectangle, I just take 42.09 divided by 2, and that will be 21.045 square centimeters. Okay, that would be the size of, or rather the area of one shaded rectangle. Okay. So the length of CL is 12.3 cm, and the area of the shaded rectangle is 21.045 square centimeters.